Hello guys, welcome back to Super Mario Odyssey 100%. In the last video, let's just say, we kind of got stuck on one moon, so I went off screen and got it, and yeah, it was definitely a little bit more difficult. The first strategy I mentioned, remember? The lawn jump strategy? Well, that was actually the key to it. So here's basically what I did. I held down the roll button and Z button, and that allowed me to chain lawn jumps like that in a row. My idea was to chime 6 lawn jumps in a very specific way, and you basically have to take the big bullet bill on the bottom all the way back here. Probably the biggest problem with it is I had to do 8 in a row, so after the fail I was practicing like crazy doing this, and you can't be too early or too late either, because you'll fall off if you're too late, and if you're too early you're gonna bonk into the wall. So there's a rhythm I had to get into. Eventually I found that rhythm and just did it at a specific time, hoping I was not too early or too late, and I was able to finally get the moon. And with that, Dark Side is officially completed for a while. There's actually some hint arts we need to get as well, but in the meanwhile, we don't need to do that. Just getting my guide here because, like I said, I'm going to be using a guide for most of this stuff. But I'll also be going blind at the same time, so we actually been forced to kind of reroute the way through the kingdoms because of the side quests, so I thought before I do anything dumb, let's get Metro out of the way next, which has a lot of our stuff, and I'm probably gonna just ignore the coins the first time and do the moons, and then come back later. There's quite a bit of moons in this area, I must say. There's even a part where you can like redo the one event that we saw as part of the playthrough. Again, no balloon world. So the Luigi section I've been skipping for the entire time. It's its own different area, which actually is not required to 100% the game. Oh wow, of course now it spawns. So we found that right off the bat. So yeah, we're rerouting this based on this tourist. Now we finally get to go back to Cascade. And yeah, there's some friends here, and here we're supposed to play specific music. It's way down here, by the way. Nope. Okay, so, this is one of the hardest musics to unlock in the entire run, in case you're wondering. And yes, that is one of the main moons I'm gonna get off screen. I'm not gonna even show myself getting that moon, because, to be fair, that's actually considered by many, especially by me, to be the most difficult moon in the entire game. Like, imagine trying to do 100 jumps in a row and then watching a different video and seeing someone do it like no problem. It's crazy. Yeah, there's gardening in here, but it's way more difficult compared to the other stuff. Because why not? So basically the gardening part of this is some of the most difficult moons in the entire run to find when you're first playing. That's the reason I was trying to carry around the seed for so long. But yeah. I'm gonna actually start with a small classic here. And yes, we can give this to Pauline. This is a specific section here. Let me look for a minute. This is actually one of the endgame stuff. Yeah, so not all of them are asked. Wow, I got an interesting one. Okay. At least that one happened to be really easy. Okay, this one. This is the one that I found. Alright. By the way, oh yes, you have to take the right present. And the right present is a pretty on thing. I don't know why I even bothered to do that, because there's a specific way you want to do that. And I mentioned a bunch of stuff being wrong. Well, I checked up this area again, and it turns out this has the most bonus areas in the entire game. It's actually kind of ridiculous. There's one bonus right here, which is just part of the section. Holy crap, I nearly had that. There's ways you can trigger it from different points, but just barely. Oh, I remember when I first did this, this was one of the most difficult sections ever, and I'm actually going to be going back to a little bit early because this is over a pit, so I'll die if I mess anything up. Finally got it. Okay. It took a while. But yeah. I mentioned there was a lot of bonus areas in different areas. Metro, I think, at least for my area, isn't this one of the spots that I had to land on? I think the way you're actually supposed to land on is just to use this. Okay, never mind. He just sits down. I don't know why it took so long to get that. That's normally one of the easier routes to get. And it's also a pretty strange moon, and also another thing here. Oh wow. That's a long ways away. Okay, at least I reached this one first try, but it was again on the time limit. So you see that blank icon that just popped up there? That's an entrance to one of the challenges, actually. So we're gonna be doing all the challenge is here. And this was the first one that we saw. But this is just a practice run. It's the intended way of getting for the moon. Yeah, but this is definitely one of the weirdest ones to do the first time you would think about it. But yeah, the idea is we're going to be searching around like crazy And you'll see this little open spot that pops up. And we go in here. This is where the part becomes interesting. So we have to do this twice. Okay, we failed challenge 1, but the first one doesn't really matter. The idea is we need to get the laps in under 10 seconds. Each time we re-enter, the challenge starts again. This one we have to focus quite a bit. That's bad. That's probably gonna miss the third challenge. Oh, wow, and it missed by a few seconds! That's too bad. That's not gonna give me anything. So, the idea is we need to do this in 26 seconds. This will take a little while, but... Oh, I just barely finished it in time. There we go, okay. That was actually a little bit closer for comfort. But anyways, we got the 2 moons here. And yeah, it seems very strange, but not only is this just a minigame, but it's required for the other stuff, but yeah. I remember when I skipped all of these areas, I probably should have never done that. So now we're going to have a little bit of fun this time. The only one I didn't skip was jump rope, which I'll try once for fun. And remember that music we just did? We did that for a very specific reason, because if we go all the way down here, we can play this music. And... yeah, so if the music already wasn't good enough, we get to hear it again, and for each time we choose one that fits the theme, the toad will give us a moon, which is really great. And we also get a moon from each city gardening. There's gardening in every single world. And yeah. Pretty interesting capture right here. We have to capture the letters and put them in order, and when we get to a certain spot, they'll automatically decapture. I like how when I turn around once, it automatically finishes. Yeah. And yes, that feat could actually be done in any single area, so if you touch that toad, you can change any boring music to another specific setup, and you already noticed that section pop up, as you might have noticed, but... So the way we do that is we... So you saw that moon over there. There's actually 2 specific moons we need to do with a scooter, so we're going to do those next. It is very difficult to find out what to do because, first off, the controls are kind of wacky, and yeah. the only real way to get the scooter to do a specific thing is by doing the stairs. I don't know how it even jumped off, because there's railings on this area. It should have not jumped off. That was pretty weird. Yeah. It's not too bad, as you can see. We can jump over different stuff. I'm doing this bad on purpose. So yes, if you park each scooter in a spot perfectly, which takes a long time. Now you can do stuff over here. The scooter's actually a main way to get some of the other moons as well, because it's so fast that it can reach different islands. Like, watch what I can do right here. That big jump. Remember that, because we're going to need to do a big jump like that. And one of the hint arts I mentioned before, for the one moon I mentioned, where I said I needed a specific way to do that, well, that's actually here, and it's pretty easy to spot. We just have to go on top somehow. And yeah, I need to find another way up to the upward spot. But as you can see, this thing can do crazy stuff. Like, if you're good enough, you can get to that spot. Do so much stuff with the scooter. It's crazy. And yeah, all of a sudden the music goes back. But I kind of want to step in on purpose, because I'm not necessarily here to do all of the parking and stuff anyways. I'm here to do all the bonuses. And if you move... So, yeah, it seems weird, but that taxi is its own bonus arena. Remember this arena that I taught to you before? Well, this is the original arena for when we do the Yoshi area. Only this time, it's a little bit different. Now we're not here with just Mario alone, we're here with Yoshi, so yeah, we can actually capture quite a bit of different stuff here. So, this entire area pretty much looks similar to this area does, and it's pretty much like that, but 3 times as easy, because you can just move the tank around and shoot whatever you want without needing to fire the tanks. The first moon is going to be collected the normal way. The second one is a little bit more difficult. And yeah, every secret has 2 bonus moons, so yeah, that is a true fact. So, though some of them are very difficult to find. Yeah, so as we naturally do, we're going to first blow up all of our buddies and do our stuff to get the moons we need. And yeah, I actually skipped a lot of this in the Yoshi part. Okay, I do need these coins. But yeah, so now we can take a tank with us to here, which we couldn't do before. Forgot where the secret moon is. It can't be too hard to find, because this is kind of an enclosed base here. Looks like I'm gonna have to do the old-fashioned strategy, which I messed up. Let's practice it a little bit here. I'm trying to do the cap hover. Because if you can bounce off your cap, you can get a bunch of height there. Okay, now let's actually try to complete the bonus, shall we? This one's actually probably a lot more difficult than the first one was. The first one was just easy as finding fruit, but now that we have to find a hidden bonus mode, it's actually become a little bit more difficult. Because I feel like we actually need a tank for the entire thing now. Because before we could do this freely, but now we need a tank for pretty much everything, so I guess we're destroying the other parts as well. Oh. Oh, okay. I see how you get up there now. Oh, bam! Look at this hidden walkway I never found! Ha! Get it? I'm gonna actually fire it here, because if I fire at a specific spot, I should find a hidden walk. Because if they didn't want us to... If they wanted us to get up to this area, then that means that there would have been a hidden block up somewhere. Oh yeah, another thing. They could pretty much hide the moons anywhere. Because I forgot, you pick up moon shards whenever you fire at them with the tank, so... Assume the way we find a hidden moon is we use the tank to get up there. I'm gonna actually take a faster route. This is taking a long time. Going on to here on purpose because I think there's an error hidden one somewhere. This is kind of a tricky bonus. The fact that not all of these are hidden within range is actually kind of annoying me a little bit. I'm trying to avoid doing our stuff because what's a fast move? So why not? Let's take this on this time. So I guess we're gonna have to fire randomly again. See, not even needed. The first fire we get, once again, has the bonus track, so let's... Well, we made it up to the upward spot. I can see now. It's hidden out of our range. We have to fire so that it hits the thing off screen. And we need to be far enough to get it. Yeah, like that. Bam. That's quite crazy. Now, it's funny that I finally remembered where it was. And again, so that just shows off the fact that you can shoot blocks from so far away. So figures that's how you were to get it. So why not? Now, where's the last moon shard? It's going to be kind of tough. I still don't know where the last moon shard is. I've literally done everything else. I've gone up to this part, which apparently was for this part. It was required for the secret moon, but I still don't know where the shard is. It's gonna be so difficult, man. Where is it? You know what, I need to wait a minute. Yeah. Oh man. This is so ridiculous. I didn't quite check where all the shards are. So. Yeah. If only I could find where that last one is. Man! Maybe if I use Mario's camera, I could find something. It's like I said, when you can't find anything in this game, you look around like crazy. Whether it's far up or far down. In this case, let's look far up and see what we find. So we found every one of the 4 that are hidden in plain sight. So the fact that we haven't found the 5th is kind of frustrating me. Reaching the part that I never checked, only to find that there was nothing there to begin with. This was one of the spots that had a shard, by the way. One of the ones I already found. Yeah. Nah. That's where the power moon was. Did I miss one? It has to be hidden in one of these then. Or I have to do this because I never checked this spot because I was focused on the other area. Backward. Nope. So not in the first area either. It would really help if I could find it right now. Shoot the taxi to reveal. Ah, frick! I knew now! I didn't know you could shoot those guys. I thought you just had to avoid them. Tell me now, of course. Figures. That was the one I missed. You see, I thought those taxis couldn't be destroyed. That was my biggest mistake, probably, in the entire run. Let's not think that ever again, and just go and get our moon. Wasted a lot more time than I wanted to. There's still quite a bit of bonus zones to go, but hopefully they'll be faster. Yeah. Literally every single open building is its own bonus, except for the City Hall, which was a story bonus. So now we have another new bonus. This one's a pull test. I see it. Again, if I already played one of these, Cappy will tell me there's nothing left, so if I ever see that, I'll be ready to do that. This one has a lot more exploring than the other ones. Oh, great. So this one has required purple coins, as you might imagine. Though there are pretty easy ways to dodge the bills, only I fell down. As I wasn't paying attention in figures. When you get tired, sometimes you just lose focus. Let's focus more. I can't flip too early or that bill will get me. Is there like a spot that I missed? I don't know. No, I know where it is. It's not even up there. Fortunately, that coin deficit wasn't as bad as the others because we clicked those, and we're up to a bunch of coins right away. And then we quickly see how much big the army really is. And there we go. That's not the end of the bonus, though. We do a round pound up. We can get onto this spot. And from here, we will learn that there's even another harder spot over the area. So this was kind of useless, but it turns out there are some coins at least. Now for one of the tougher parts, we need to figure out how to get out there. Don't think the first area is actually quite lined up with the cameras. To do this with a different villa. We'll see though. Might be. Oh, never mind, it's perfect. Yeah. Sometimes the depth perception is very difficult. In that case, it was really annoying. Now we go for the entire area again. Hopefully a little bit quicker this time. And yeah, that flip forward is actually kind of slow, so I'm going to try to avoid that as much as I can, except where it's required. And these first two poles can be skipped a little bit. You can jump between them and not have to ride them, but you always have to ride this one. The first one is beneficial to ride though for coins. And yeah, otherwise that was pretty calm bonus. Pretty easy to find moons. The upward spot did help us out because it showed us where that moon was. Well, that looks like the hint, but it's not the correct building. It has to be on top. Yeah. So yes, there are hint arts in this game I should have told you about, where moons are just randomly buried around the ground. Your only clue to them is via the hint art mentioned before. I need to check this. It's 10 coins to play, a power moon could be one, so... Okay, we're leaving. That's actually first less in a while. Now they do, so they get a little bit trickier and faster as we go in. So we have to react to where it is. There I was way too slow. Yeah, that's too bad because when it first starts, it always starts on power moon, so there's a little trick you can do. It's kind of tricky. I need to place my ad in the right spot, and then you can match A to talk to this guy. And then, you simply reset at a specific time, and you could just instantly take out... Oh, wow. Bad. Okay, now we'll do it the cheesy way. Or not. Well, I'm so bad at slots, I need to get better at my timing, gosh dang it. Okay, I'm gonna do a backup instead. We'll just mesh this like crazy, which will give us 2 right off the bat. There we go! Should have done that the first time. But yeah, each one of them has its own cheat. Place your hat right around there. Hold it. You have to hold it for quite a bit, actually. A little bit extra, and then you release it with a specific timing. And if you do it perfectly, it'll come back to you at a very fast rate, fast enough to hit all of the slots all in a row. And they always start on the power moon, which means you'll get the win very quickly. It's the fastest way of doing that minigame. And now, come to a more nostalgia game. Also, Mario isn't looking too different. But yeah, I've actually been playing the original Mario Bros. Quite a bit, but yeah. We get to play 1-1 and 1-2 for some reason. Don't ask me why. So right off the bat, as in normal style, we're gonna go into Secret, which holds a power moon and some more coins. This time around, though, it does not take us to the end of the area. Instead, we get to see more of the stage. And we need to find all the moon shards which are hidden in the level. Or that's what... Normally we're supposed to try and find power-ups as well, but... Guess what? There is none! This is not like the original at all. It still has that one death pit from before, obviously. I like how they always clap when we do something right. And normally in the block section, you saw there that I wasn't able to go back up. In the original Mario Bros, we were not able to go back up here. Up here. Excuse me! But yeah. Instead of a flagpole, we get just a normal castle. And a pipe. I like how everyone claps whenever I get something. That's pretty fun. Including there. But yeah, that's probably the most fun bonus of all time. It's also by far probably the easiest bonus in the entire game, I will say. Like, none of you should have problems with that. I do like now that it relates back to the original Mario Bros. Which, by the way, drew in, I think, what, 1 million plus copies worldwide? I think even 10 million copies worldwide. The first game was just that crazy. So before you do anything else, you want to look backwards. In doing so, we find another ghost, which goes to play the hat-and-seek mode, as they call it. And then we get a pretty easy moon to go for here. Just roll on the right edge and we get past everyone. That's probably the easiest timer challenge moon to get in the entire game as well. There is probably an easier one, but at least some of the other ones have some difficult parts about them. And in natural motion, we're gonna quickly jump over the crowd and get another moon. And yeah. This bonus is also pretty chill. I like the ones that where it's pretty much impossible to die. Those are the best bonuses, generally. Okay, for the next one, it's a little bit different. We can return to the area we were before during storyline. This time, we have a different way to go. Yeah, unfortunately you have to go into this area twice. There's nothing you can really do. But yeah. Oh, and you also have the Return of the Bees. And yes, apparently shaking, as you might have seen, can, depending on how you shake it, counts as a power moon. Well, not a power moon, but you know what I'm saying. You can do the spin throw by doing that. Normally, the spin requires this motion, which is a little bit more difficult and takes a little bit more time, so you can also save time doing that. Gonna have to dive for it, but anyways, we found it, the hidden moon in here. We can also choose to go back to that area, which we are going to. And inside this area, we're gonna ignore the exit, and guess what? Yep, they have a bonus puzzle for us. Our goal here is to try to set it up in such a way that when we flip it around, it'll go right on there. In that case, it was a little bad. It gets kind of annoying to do, because if you don't do it in the right way, it becomes very difficult. I could tell that was off. That was backwards again. So that means we need to flip this thing around somehow. It's kind of a tricky puzzle. Now if it does get tricky, you can reset to make it playable if you choose to. Oh, I finally got it, I think. Right as I say that, too. No cheating today, it looks like. And yeah, now there's even more power to the new Dog City power supply. Because we got a teleport, we weren't able to get that moon before, and now we were able to get it. Yeah, I hope this video isn't too boring, because it's mostly gonna be me just entering bonus after bonus. There are really so many bonuses here. Couldn't find any there. That one's normal. Mayor Pauline has a moon of her own. For that to work, we need to go all the way up here to where this area was, and go even higher. So we're gonna use this thing, of course. This will also tell us where a moon is, which is actually right here. This is one of the dark side moons, hidden in retro, hence why it's a different color. And I'm gonna start by just dropping off. And yes, we need to give it to the mayor. Oh, whoa. I keep picking it up. So for completing that entire quiz boss side quest or whatever, Mayor Pauline gives us a moon. And yes, for anybody who hasn't already figured out, a lot of the game's kingdom, for this kingdom at least, is a reference to Donkey Kong. But not just anyone, the original Donkey Kong, which was one of the hardest games ever made, by the way. It's a game where you could very well easily get stuck on level 1 if you don't know what you're doing. I personally have at least beat Donkey Kong in that game, so I'm not as bad as it seems. And what's this? We went up here and there's another bonus area. This is your first intended bonus with the bike. You drive around here and you drive in such a way that you hit that before the timer expires, and we get... Yeah, so it's basically our own timer challenge. And I wanted to practice doing this in a specific way because coming up will actually be probably the hardest Koopa challenge next in the entire run. Like before, they have racing, but it's way more difficult than before. I forget where it's even at normally. Okay, at least it shows it on the map. But it's a lot more difficult than it seems. You can kind of cheese it by using our stuff, but this one, yeah, I'm definitely gonna take some practice on this. Probably the main reason I wanted to do this episode is because I'm gonna do this hardest moon you see here. That's going to be done off camera, because obviously I don't want to spend an eternity of time in this game. And we'll probably continue on later. Oh, actually, that's actually on top of a building. No wonder it's so difficult. In that case, the best way to get it is from the town hall. You might even need to use one of those flick stands to get all the way up there. And yeah, pretty nice effect of whenever we beat the world. Well, actually, after beating Bowser, a lot of stuff happens. But you see right over there, that's where we need to go. We're gonna trigger a fall right here. I may as well get the purple coins while we're here. These are some of the trickiest purples to get, because to explore so far just for 2 purples. Yeah. I won't be cutting all of these out. People probably want to see where most of the purples are. And now, for the hardest challenge in the game. You see that building I tried to get to next to the town hall? That's where I need to go, so we need to get to that part as soon as possible. This is the race where I'm actually heavily expecting to fail. And right there, that's the intended way up. I'm gonna try to skip that by going all the way to the top, if I'm even able to. So they're trying to kind of do a bunch of different stuff, but in the idea is this is the fastest way up. But right there, if I didn't do that bounce, I wouldn't have got to it. Okay, so how do I do that faster, I suppose? That was the regular cup, which was easy enough to trick, but the second one I need to do it in reasonable time, so right off the bat I think going on that thing is pretty slow. Now there are other ways around it. The route I did just happens to be the easiest to do. Record route's probably going to be a little bit different. So this time around we're going to go a little bit faster. We're going to actually go here instead, which will allow us to get down on the ground floor a little bit quicker. Which will allow us to do a little bit of rowing for the first bit. And then quickly get in here. And now we're on the top. Jump, jump, jump. dive, and you see he's coming really quick, but before he comes, we're able to beat him. The fastest way is just a faster version of that strategy where you don't get on top and just go from the top building, but yeah. I was heavily expecting that to fail it, but turns out I was able to do that pretty easily. I mean, I think what I meant is, it seems intimidating because it's very difficult the first time you play. So, if you didn't practice going to that area. So hopefully, by now you've practiced going to that area at least once, and we get this easy moon over here, hidden in plain view for the most part. And you can see there's still a lot of moons. Metro is definitely one of the biggest kingdoms in the entire game, so we'll probably be spending the next 2 episodes, I could definitely say, in just this kingdom alone. It's not beneficial to go up to that checkpoint from the figures out, but anyways, so remember the Splurge challenge we did before? Well, we get to do that again. Only this time, it's not a little bit easier. We just need to land on any building. I said any building, which I did not. That was actually pretty bad on myself. Let's try that again. It's not too slow to try again. I don't want to waste any time. And I like having the extra bit of movement up there. But yeah. Until they add the bike there, you aren't able to do that, unfortunately. So, yeah. And now we're just gonna hold it. Be a little bit safer, and there we go. We made it past the difficult part. Now let's try to at least get close to there. This is probably a pretty difficult part, and also since I learned how to turn around. Just like before. Yeah, as you can see, we have to take a leap of faith to get that, as it ironically calls it, which is pretty cool. And looks like we found some purples over here. I'm gonna take the last bit to search for purples now, because a lot of the bonuses have been finished now. Oh, except this one. Let's go in this one. Remember that section from before? Well, this is the intent. Remember when I mentioned that this was supposed to have a scooter? Yeah, this is that bonus again. It's still pretty tricky, but not as hard, and they do give you a scooter. But yeah, this is the intended way of doing it. This is way faster than before, and is also pretty straightforward. So, like, the jumps are way more consistent, when normally to catch up to that, you need a very specific setup to do that. I did tell you guys that that bonus was supposed to have a scooter, and I was right, so yeah. Okay. I just did that because it was in my way, and I wanted to get it before doing anything else. But now we're gonna go and get some purples around the area. Yeah, and Mayor Pauline used to look pretty interesting. Like, a lot of people believe that, at least in some of the posters, she looked similar to Peach, but it's when Peach became that pink color that Mayor Pauline was definitely a different fit. In fact, a lot of people make that same mistake. They think Peach is the princess saved in Donkey Kong. That is completely wrong, obviously. That is Pauline was the original princess. It was not until the first Mario Bros. I just played in one of my bonuses, as you saw there. And yeah. Okay, let's warp to the next spot over here because that'll be probably a location of another bonus. Again, whenever I can't find anything, generally my strategy of backup is to do bonuses. I actually don't want to do this one. So in case I haven't already done it before. Perfect, I didn't even storm. And, yeah, I was correct. I did not speak to Captain Toad in this area yet. There's quite a bit of moons here, yeah. It's so long, it's gonna take two episodes by far. Oh, this guy's lonely. Okay, I understand you. So that's another moon. I can tell by the way that happens. There's actually quite a bit of those where a specific guy wants you, will only give you a moon if you're in a specific costume. So let's fix that. If we warp back to Main Street and then warp back to where that area was, we can actually fulfill that affection. And apparently this was the original Crazy Cap store. Also, we didn't buy this, so let's do it before we forget. Oh and yeah, I think this crown outfit's been getting a little bit bad, so it's time to buy the next set, which this time actually is a little bit different. You get to buy the clown outfit. We're going to be trying to wear every outfit in every episode that we can, but yeah. And yes, we could have changed into the Mario outfit as well, but yeah. Alright. And back to here. I noticed there's an X on the ground in a spot where I think that might actually be where the original moon was intended to be. But yeah, when you beat another advantage to beating Bowser's, you are given a permanent way to get up here, which is pretty cool. The guys from Luncheon get to help you out. And we're going to practice this for a while because it's pretty difficult to get up here. Oh, we found some coins. Nope, it's the exact moon I was talking about, apparently. Okay. It's a nice one. This time around, when we leave the world, we're going to view stuff. So I mentioned also a coin grind as well. Obviously no one wants to see that, so since getting a lot of coins is required for 100%, I'm actually going to do that off screen and get a good amount, around 7,000. So if I come back with a lot of coins, yeah, you'll know what happened. But this time, for ending the episode, we're gonna put all of our Odysseys on the moon so we can see what we unlock this time. Okay, a new product was added to the shop. Okay, leave a like if you enjoyed, comment, rate, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Bye.